This podcast is part of the Listen Frederick Podcast Network. To learn more, visit listenfrederick.com.
The Fedora Files.
Hello and welcome to the Fedora Files. I am Gregory Fedora, and I'm so glad you're here today. And we got some cool new stuff. I got a new mic, so hopefully it sounds even better now than it used to. I don't know. It's an upgrade. But this podcast is brought to you by my Happy Little Monsters Anthology Series, Volumes 1 through 4. I am currently working on Volume 5, 6, and 7. And hopefully we'll have Volume 5 out later this summer. And then 6 next fall. And then 7 hopefully by the spring of next year. So Happy Little Monsters, you can get it on Amazon. It is also brought to you by Sasquatch and Me by me. It's another book. It's a little bit longer than my Happy Little Monsters ones, which are a little bit shorter. You can get both these on Amazon. I don't have a Patreon. I don't have really any other advertising. So if you buy these books, helps keep me going and helps pay for everything. And I'm going to have a little deal going on right now. If you order Happy Little Monsters 1 through 4, any of them, write a review on Amazon, screenshot it, send it to me, I will put you in a drawing for a signed copy of Sasquatch and Me. Now, if you buy Sasquatch and Me and you send me do a review and send a screenshot of that, I'll put you in a drawing for Happy Little Monsters volumes 1, 2, 3, or 4. You can tell me which one you want, and you'll be in a drawing for that as well. So there you have it. That is what is going on, and that again helps keep me going. Today's episode, I'm going to dive into a creature that not many people have heard of or know about. It's mentioned in Happy Little Monsters Volume 1, and it is called the Afanc. Now, the Afanc is a lake monster, river monster from Welsh folklore. It's been around for a millennia, a long time, and there's many stories and sightings of this creature. Even up until last year, there was a sighting of the Afanc. Now, it's very different from like Nessie or some of the other lake monsters you hear about. It is said that this creature resembles what would happen if a beaver and a crocodile had a romantic liaison, and out popped a Afanc. It's a large creature. It's probably the size of a horse or so. It's pretty big, and it's towering. It's got the snout of a crocodile, so like teeth, but it's furry and has like a beaver tail, and it supposedly caused all kinds of havoc. Now, it originally lived in a lake known as Lyn Afanc, which is basically called translated to the pool of the Afanc. So the whole lake was named after this creature. So it lived there for a while. So it's Lyn Afanc is how you pronounced it. As the story goes for this creature, every spring it would just cause all kinds of havoc, break down the dam, and the river would like flood the town. And the folks were getting tired of it, that this creature kept doing this. And they tried to kill it, couldn't kill it, shot it with arrows. Arrows kind of bounced off it for whatever reason. Its hide was too thick, and they just couldn't do anything. They tried all kinds of things to get rid of this monster. But as always, the beast had a liking for beauty. So, as in all tales of like this, like even up into King Kong, these creatures seem to like the ladies and the pretty ladies. So it can't just be any lady. It has to be a pretty maiden, damsel, whatever you want. So as the story goes, the most beautiful girl in the town was the daughter of a farmer. And so she volunteered herself because she cared for the folks there and the townsfolks and for her, parents and her dad and the livelihood of everybody. And so she was the bait. Now they got the blacksmith. The blacksmith made this chain and this collar, and they were going to capture the Avanc and take it far away. Like because they knew they couldn't kill it, but they're like, hey, let's at least get rid of it. Um, so they went and they did this. That's what they did. The mating there, it came out, they captured it, and they moved this creature to a place known as Lyn Laon. It's a lake within Snowdonia, and it's all these mountains. It's a mountain lake, and there's no way out. And so to this day, that is where everyone believes the Avanc lives. That's where there actually have been sightings about this. What's cool about the Avanc is they they he falls into some of the Arthurian legend. At one point, they try to get the King Arthur's men to kill it, and they couldn't do it either. But there's all kinds of legends and folklore about this creature, and it's been around, like I said, for millennia. And to this day, people have still claimed they've seen it, or that they've seen strange footprints around this lake. I think it's the Lake Lyon. It's Lilon, up in the Snowdonia area in the mountains. And so the townsfolk got it up there, and now that is where it lives. Now, is it real? I don't know. But it's a fascinating story, and I find it really interesting that the pond where it was, or pond is a lake or loch, uh, that it originally lived in was named after it. So there was something there in that lake that the people were like, what? And this to me is interesting in that, like with Loch Ness, you can fight, kind of say, oh, maybe it was an eel, because there are eels in the lochs. It could have been a tarpon. It could have been all these strange looking fish things that happen. But the difference between the Avanc and like Nessie is that it was furry and large. It was a large furry creature with crocodilian, like the description now is like a crocodile teeth and snout with a giant beaver body. Um, so it was unique to what people have often described as a river or lake monster. It's not your atypical one. It's because usually those fall into like the dinosaur, dragon, serpent type of creature, and this is not like that at all. To this day, it is still a major part of folklore of the Welsh people, and it's kind of celebrated in I think it's called the Conway area, um, which I believe is in southern Welsh area or Wales, southern Wales, and is still like thought of very highly. And it's just part of their folklore, and they love this creature. Uh, I would love to one day go to Lyn Lyon and see this thing and check it out for myself. Now, what are your thoughts on this? What do you think could possibly this creature have been, or what could have been mistaken for? Do you think it was mistaken, or do you think it was like just a creature that existed and eventually got killed off? Um, it If you look up like giant sloths and things like that, it has some similarities to that. Perhaps it was just a giant sloth and exaggerated and eventually was killed off eventually. Uh, and maybe at some point there was a creature like a giant sloth or a bear of some kind that lived around this lake, and they were just, called it Avanc. What do you think? Uh, my thoughts are, I don't know, but I always side with something was there. One, to be named the whole pond after it, or I keep calling it a pond, but it's huge. It's a big area. It's like a lake or loch. But it had to have been something that lived in that area, and it seemed to terrorize the people. It was not a lovable little critter. It was a big thing that caused a lot of havoc. And I love that it was a part of Arthurian legend because I love King Arthur. So as you go out and about searching for these creatures and stuff, remember to check out my book, Happy Little Monsters, Volume 1, and get 2, 3, and 4 as well. Remember, if you write a review for any of those and screenshot and send it to me, you will have a chance to get a signed copy of Sasquatch and Me. And if you buy Sasquatch and Me and leave a review, I will put you in a drawing for a copy of one of the Happy Little Monster books. So it's a win-win. You could get 2 books for the price of 1. So there you have it. And thank you for stopping by. And remember to, as always, stay safe and keep searching.
The Fedora Files.
Check out fedoracrt.com today.